Is this thing on? uh, testes? Testes. Testes, 1, 2. It's, the Outlaw Window, Cleaner podcast. Oh, yeah.
Hey guys, TJ wanted me to come on here and do a special video for the Squeegee Life special back episode. How long's it been? 300 and some episodes, and then they got canceled. So now he's uncanceled, he's back, but nah, motherfuckers, we're live.
Yo, what's up, everybody? How's everybody doing? How's it going, everybody?
What up?
What's going on?
What is going on? Now I can finally share.
Yeah, now you can share it if you'd like. So, Tim's here with us. We got rid of Jacob and Seth. We told them to fuck off.
Well, there was a special on sexual reassignment surgeries, 2 for 1. So
I just signed my contract.
Yeah. Yeah, Jacob and Seth are on vacation. Well, Jacob is actually not on vacation. Jacob actually got married. So congratulations to Jacob on his new marriage. Congratulations. Hope you wish you nothing but happiness and all that good stuff. But exactly. After some looking around and stuff, like when all this stuff went on with the YouTube channel, I started going through some of my files and stuff, and it just kind of dawned on me. I'm like, man, this is technically within a few days 5 years since we started doing this podcast.
Yeah,
it's been 5 years of window cleaning talk and fart jokes and all that stuff, and Tim is really the reason why I even have a YouTube channel. For those of you that don't know, there would be no Squeegee Life, there would be no T Squeegee on social medias if it wasn't for Tim. Tim's the one that really talked me into starting a YouTube channel and having a presence on social media. I would never have shot a YouTube video if it wasn't for Tim. I tried to get I tried super hard to get Josh Shofon, because, Josh was also one of the people that urged me to be on YouTube, and, was one of the first people to do the podcast. Actually did probably a great deal of the first 10 to 15 episodes with me in Tim's absence. That was when Tim lost his channel. But and then after we
man, that is so long.
Yeah, and I actually thought about playing the Black Diamond Rubber ad, but I didn't want to make Luke mad. But of course, as everyone knows, after those 15 episodes, that's when Mark decided that he was like, you know what, I enjoy talking shit.
And, pretty good at talking smack.
Yeah, pretty good at talking smack. So, I'll do the show with you. And then, it was all bets are off. It was me, Mark, and Tim for years.
Yeah.
And then
Seth
I
was the one that put up the $1,000 to get rid of Joshua's show.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. You remember? The podcast really came about with. The whole Barry Tate shit, man. The reach it, so I kind of hooked up with Richie, did the IWCA. That was 2018, it's 2017.
Yeah.
And then you, right along there, that's when you came on board.
Yeah.
You were like, all Richie Blue, all.
That's when I met you. That's right, Tim. I forgot all about that.
Yeah.
I didn't even know you from the podcast, and I was standing right next to you, and I looked at Tim, and I'm like,
so hungover, and he's talking to me, and I'm looking down talking to him.
Yeah. I was like,
big, dude.
Tim and I were standing there, and I'm like, I think I know him, but I'm not sure. And I don't want to say something, because I had seen things on the internet, and I wasn't one of those, and I was like, I just kind of looked at Tim, I remember, and he was lit up pretty good, and I go, we're watching the skiing competition. I'm like, I think some of these guys are here for the wrong convention.
Oh, dude, it was bad. None of them clean a window. Not one person could clean a window. And you're at a window cleaning convention, and I mean, there's like 20 people doing this thing. It was like, it was wild, dude, wild. Anyway, I want to do the convention this year, like real life. If it's in Orlando.
I think, I don't know where it's gonna be.
They said they're gonna announce it Friday.
Okay.
So I would love if it's in Orlando. I'm definitely doing it.
Yeah, I'll be there if it's in Orlando.
But I don't know. So what's new? Tell me what's new. What's going on? It's been a while. You know what? How long's it been since I've been on? 2 years?
At least 1.5 to 2 years.
I think so. I think it's been 2 years. What's new? Yeah, you can't say certain things on YouTube.
I heard about that.
I found that out quickly.
Not being able to do a podcast. I mean, how long?
This will be 13 days. The ban was 7 days. We couldn't go. I couldn't post anything. So my goal in 2024 was to make sure that I did like a weekly upload. I wanted to really grow the channel in 2024 and get to 2,000 subscribers and all of that.
How many are you at now?
I'm like 16 something.
Yeah.
Oh, that's natural too, dude.
Yeah, that's no bullshit.
I mean? That's all window cleaners. And
that's
shit.
all window cleaners. No bullshit. No.
Right.
Bot farms. No nothing. Right. Just people just subscribing to my channel. That's like organic built audience. So my deal was like I'm gonna upload once a week, and I it took that away from me. So that sucks. I don't know if I want to do any more conventions. Just for my own well-being.
Well, like for me, Orlando is 125, 150 miles away. So if it came close enough to you, would you consider going without traveling across the country? That's the question.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Oh, I would drive to Florida. I mean, I would drive in.
No.
Oh,
I
mean,
would go to
if
Orlando
it's in Orlando, you're going to. We're going.
My thing is this.
We ain't leaving for no hurricanes. We're here for the party.
We're here for the party.
We're not leaving for hurricanes.
No, I know we're not. No, they're.
I thought that's what
we had tornadoes this morning. 6:45 this morning. We had tornadoes.
I've got I don't know. I've got quite of a polarizing personality, and I have not made very many friends in the industry. And,
yeah, but I mean, it would be us.
I'm not trying to go to jail.
We just be a clique.
You know what I mean? Like,
we'll just do our own little clique, man.
I'm not.
It'd be fun.
I'm not saying that would be the case. You know what I mean? But some, people like to say things. You know what I mean? Like we went to the one convention I went to in Branson. There was a couple of people that, wanted to push buttons. You know what I mean? It wasn't necessarily about me. It was more about Mark. And, of course, I'm going to defend Mark, you know what I mean? So, I mean, and I think they knew that when they said the shit they said about Mark, you know what I mean?
Mark has Hulk Hogan arms. Why would you fuck with Mark?
I think it just
that people, old. They ain't like they used to.
People watch the show and then they think that they know somebody because they see the show, you know what I mean?
Right.
And, anyone that's, I'm not saying that I'm a different person up here, but I'm hands off. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying I'm a tough guy or nothing, but we will fucking roll around. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? We will roll around. You know what I mean? I'm just letting you know. So, I don't take to that kind of shit. Like, there's dudes say a lot of shit on the internet, and I'm just worried, like, if that's going to be the case, is that something I'm going to have to deal with, like, people talking out of turn in person, too. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and I don't know if...
I will say this.
They're not going to do that when, because if you go, everybody goes, there's going to be a crew of guys that go. There's probably going to be 20 Squeegee Life guys in Orlando if they do it in Orlando, dude.
Well, let me say this.
Nobody's going to talk shit. You got the crew, not just the crew, but you've got the...
Oh, yeah, I understand. I'm not necessarily worried about what's going to... I'm not worried about people. Yeah. I'm worried about the repercussions of me not being... Like, Jennifer made it quite clear to me the last convention I went to, I was not to drink. You know what I mean? You're not allowed to drink because that's when all my inhibition. And I've been on the wagon for 2 years now, but that's when all my inhibitions go away. Like I will, you know what I mean? Like if you say something that I feel like is disrespectful, I'm going to say something to you. You know what I mean? It's going to escalate. You know what I mean? That's just, like case in point, I had Seth was feeding me fucking Budweisers, and that dude started fucking talking, and I just couldn't, you know what I mean? It turned into a thing. You know what I mean? It instantly turned into a thing. And the next day I woke up, I was like, fuck, I shouldn't, because the dude used to watch the show, and I just like, man, dude, I don't, now I feel like an asshole. You know what I mean? I'm glad it didn't get any further than it did, because then I'd be in trouble.
Brother, I'm gonna be honest with you. My only experience was at 2018, and I was with it was just nonstop drinking. Yeah. But everybody got along. You get what I'm saying?
Well, and when we went down there to Branson, everyone got along great, especially all the YouTube guys. I had at the huge convention, it was so much fun. Being with all the YouTube guys.
How many people are there though?
A bunch of people there.
Yeah. There's like 100 at the IWCA. You get what I'm saying? There's not a lot of people.
Yeah.
Are you talking about the huge or the IWCA? Because I was talking about the huge convention.
I will go. Huge, dude.
Yeah, I would go. I would entertain going to the IWCA though.
Yeah, the huge.
Because the only reason why
personalities there.
The only reason why I would go to that one because I've never been to one, and I feel like being that I do this for a living, I owe it to myself to at least go to one. I know. Me and Mark are not the most popular fucking guys within that little community.
I will say this because I did 2 conventions in 6 weeks, the PWMCA and IWCA in Orlando 2 years ago, and I met a good handful of people at both conventions that were very personable. Came up, hey, I watch a show every now and again. TJ here, you know. There was only one issue. Remember TJ? Someone said, "Where's TJ? I need to speak to him." And we couldn't figure out who it was, and it was probably some idiot running his mouth. But behind the keyboard, your people are different than when they see you in person.
Yeah,
I
think people get an impression of personalities and shit on the internet, and then in person, it's a different story. Like that dude looking for me, he would have found everything. I promise you, he would have found what he was looking for. If you were looking for trouble, he would have found it. You know what I mean? Because I'm a fucking idiot. Right. And I'm an idiot.
I went down memory lane. I had to get on my backup account. What the fuck is going on? I went down memory lane on my backup account because I'm like, fuck, dude, I'm going to go on this podcast. There's certain things I hadn't thought of in years, like Joe Hardy.
Yeah.
And like,
he was a lot of fun. I kind of missed him.
He's got a thrift store now.
Give it to me harder, big boy.
He's got a block, but he's got a thrift store now. Then
I haven't heard from that dude in years since that whole thing popped off.
I don't think he's cleaning windows much anymore.
No,
well, my whole thing is like the way he did fucking Lewis Coatney. That was just kind of put it over the edge. Like I kind of knew he was kind of like a douche. You know what I mean? But it was like a lovable douche, so I kind of like looked past some of his qualities. You know what I mean? As that, I was like the red flags. I was just like, oh, whatever. But when he did Lewis wrong, I was just like, eh.
Yeah,
it's kind of hard to be nice to you now.
The whole adopt-a-pop thing. This is a fucking train running down the tracks without crossing gates. Dude, it's only a matter of time.
Lewis is a good dude, man.
Yeah.
But it was just going down that memory lane, and so like, even my fucking handle is Rip Lee, son. Rest in peace, Lee, son. You know what I mean? Fucking Burbridge. So
what happened?
He's still alive. That's my handle for my second my backup account. Rest in peace, Lee.
That's a name I haven't heard in a long time either.
Right, man, we partied like rock stars down there, dude. That was right when they were launching the Gunslinger.
I'll here's a little admission of mine. I liked Lee. I really liked Lee. He was like always sending me screenshots of watching the podcast. He says, I never watched that shit when he got mad at me, but like, bro, I've got pictures of you. and our conversations about the show. Once Perry
had just offered him a little piece of Europe or whatever it was, so he didn't want that mess with. You get what I'm saying?
And once we kind of mended the fences with WCR and they became a sponsor of the podcast, like it was like I had betrayed the entire world.
Which is wild because Lee was so in with, Chris and all that. You know what happened with that mess? How'd you go from producing Window Wars, which is a great, fun,
I loved it. Video that was amazing.
Seen it. Yeah, amazing. Go over to Lee's channel and watch that. That's really cool. You can see Alex and Chris and Peter.
I have to go to a burner. I have to go to a burner account to watch that because I'm blocked on YouTube. Right, you blocked me.
Well, I think it's even on YouTube. You're blocked.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's wild. Yeah. Man, that thing got out of hand. Yeah, the history of this podcast is wild if you really think about it.
Oh, it's unrecognizable from where it started to what it is now, for sure.
Right. But I mean, it went from the beginning of Gunslinger, and now it's basically with Maker. You get what I'm saying? So it's never swayed from Richie Blue the whole time, which is really cool.
Oh no. I get a lot of, I don't necessarily personally get a lot of shit, but I insert myself in a lot of things when it comes to Maker products, like specifically the silencer. Like some of the comments and shit about it, it just like, it kind of peels my wig back. Like dudes are like, fucking $300 for this fucking thing, la-da-da-da-da. Oh, it's a shitty design from the very beginning because my leg gets wet. Well, first of all, wring your mop out, you fucking idiot. Clearly you're adult.
My leg doesn't get wet.
Clearly you're adult because I use it all the time and I have no problems ever getting my fucking leg wet or keeping my fucking windows wet. So
with the plastic bucket, you will always hit that nerve on the back of your knee and knock yourself almost silly. Yep. You know what I mean? You don't get that. I don't care. You can't. That thing is the best thing on the market.
And the thing that bothers me the most is the pricing concern. Like, oh, it's so expensive. Well, this is most likely coming from a guy that charges a premium for his service and gets pissed off when somebody does it cheaper than him. You know what I mean? And I have a quality service.
These window cleaners are all full of shit. They're getting $25 a window and they're driving a 78 Toyota Corolla hatchback with a broom handle holding up the back lift.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like 4 hours worth of work, it's paid for itself.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like it's paid for itself. You know, you claim it on your fucking taxes. You know what I mean? You want nice shit. You know what I mean? I have had 0 accidents in anyone's house since I started using those things. Like normally I would hit something and like it would tip my plastic bucket over and I'd fucking spill water. You know what I mean?
So people want to gripe about the price. Let's gripe about the price of the Maker mitt and the full system right there. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So the Scotsman on there. How long have I had this? How long's Maker been out?
Oh, geez.
3 years?
3 years.
Closer to 4 years.
3-4 years.
I finally
I've had the same mitt on since I've had one of the first ones. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I've had the same mitt on this whole time. I've not changed it out. How many mitts do you think Joey's gone through?
Yeah. Did you just now change your handy sleeve, Mark?
I just changed the Velcro part because it blew through finally.
Mine didn't blow through. The snap fell off, and I had to change it out. And I legitimately, no bullshit, I legitimately had the very first one ever put on a mop and ever used by anybody. I had it. I still have it now.
Yeah.
With my fucking fake fucking, like, he just made, like, what is your favorite style T-bar sleeve? I'm like, this one. He's like, all right, I'm going to make you something to use in the meantime until I get my own shit. I'm like, cool. He goes, I just want to test it. But like I said before, if you like you want to charge a premium for a service, why are you so hesitant to pay a premium for a tool? You know what I mean? Like, I do understand that some guys are going to buy Snap-on tools, and then there's guys that are going to go to Hobo Freight and buy tools. I do understand that. You know what I mean? I do get that. It's not for everyone. But to get on and, like, say that people are stupid or I can't, like only an idiot would buy one of those. It's just like,
Listen,
dude, come on, man.
I am
like,
almost
you're just
50
jealous.
years old. I'm almost 50 years old. I've been doing this shit for a long ass time, 30 some years. I've got residential. I do tens of thousands of windows every year. You get what I'm saying? I don't understand these people putting all this shit on their tool belt, bro. Like you need certain supplies for what you need. You don't need this.
You know what it is, Tim?
Your hips will not like you at 50. You get what I'm saying if you keep doing that.
Dude, I am falling apart from doing this for 37 years. Okay. I told TJ earlier, I called him up. I was at my chiropractor literally 20 minutes before this podcast came on. Okay. Yeah. It beats you up. That said, look, if you want to shut down a post on Facebook about window cleaning, I did one last week. It's always fun. I'm like, how come I always have the last word here? Some guy saying, I bid this house at $800, and they said the last guy did it for $250, and I'm like, well, maybe he's better than you. So I go, well, you're probably the same guy that complains that Squeegee Life towels are $6.50 or whatever they are, or a silencer is $300. Hot shot, you're making $30 a window, $20 a window. Buy whatever you want. They're full of shit. It's like the rest of these guys.
Yeah. I mean, if like we're priced at an hourly rate basically, so we know how many windows we can do in an hour. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's where we're at. We try to be at $125 an hour per crew. So and to be there, you have to. Sometimes it's not the premium guy. I'm not going in being the highest price. I'm not the lowest price, but I'm right there, always in the middle. You get what I'm saying?
That's where you want to be anyway.
But we're in and out in no time.
Yeah.
You get these high price guys; they're there all day. You get what I'm saying? And they're out there with they'll do the water fed pole on the outside, and then they'll spend all day on the inside because they're not really turning squeegees. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They don't know what. So
what I can do in an hour versus what you can do in an hour are two different fucking things.
Right. Exactly.
So, while you might look at my price and be like, "Man, that ain't enough." Well, you don't think so, but to me, it's like, shit, I'm knocking this shit the fuck out. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's why I have the customers residentially that I have that are so fucking loyal to me because they know I'm not going to be there. I'll have to come back tomorrow to finish your windows. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not going to get that with me. You're going to get the job done that day. You know what I mean? That's
right.
And it's going to be done in a timely manner. It's not going to take me 12 hours to clean the windows at your fucking house.
Yeah.
So it's different strokes for different folks. Essentially,
I watched the company here in town, dude. I swear to you, it was 4.5 hours. I timed them. I kept going by, and I was running errands that day, doing something. 4.5 hours on a 25 window in and out Dairy Queen. 4.5 hours.
What?
Yes.
I'd have ate 3 ice creams and finished that bitch in a half hour.
I almost thought about going over there and getting lunch and help with the dude. I mean, 4.5 hours.
It's insanity, man. It's insanity.
And he's making 30%. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's insanity.
It's
insanity, dude. It's insanity.
This is what you compete with.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't necessarily look like doing this as long as I've done it, cleaning windows. I don't even look necessarily at people as competition anymore. You know what I mean? I really don't look at them. I still have my competitive fire. And if I see somebody new driving, I'm like, look at this fucking asshole. You know what I mean? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And he might be the nicest guy in the world. I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't know. But when I see him, I'm just like, who the fuck is this dude? You know what I mean? And if I got a few minutes, I'll turn around and go follow. Where's this guy going? You know what I mean?
But I've spent a dozen years building this residential company, man, and it is to the point now. I got competition moving in. The city's building. I got all these franchises wanting to come in. Leah's looking at me going, "You can't be on ladders very much longer." You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm like, "Yeah, I can." But she's saying, "No, you can't be." So now I got to get to a point to where I can manage my company. So that's going to take 5 years to transition me off the routes into the building. You get what I'm saying? So
you'll be back. You'll be back.
Yeah.
I'm not. I hate man.
Just get better with your water fed pole, dude. I know you don't like to hear that, but
yeah, Ron's still out there. He'll be 59 this year. He's still out there doing.
You're gonna do it as long. You're gonna do it as long as you're physically able and want to do it. You know what I mean? Mark is the same way. Mark will probably be fucking gray headed and still cleaning windows. You know? He probably won't be cleaning them at the frequency that he's cleaning them now. The same thing with me.
I won't care as much.
Yes, that's actually that's a very astute observation. My mom can add and subtract, guys. There's 100 years experience between the three of us.
Yeah, I'm 33 years. So.
I'm 20. I'm old. I'm 20 something. Yeah, 20 years.
So
however old Elena is minus 1 year. So
yeah,
she was like a year old when I started cleaning windows. So I don't. She's 22, I think. So 20, 21 years.
Well, I will say,
and 37 years with you, Mark. Jeez, that's a lot.
You still be at the mindset where, at your point, you still say to yourself, "I thought I seen everything," because shit happens, and you know what? I gave up on that because no matter what, there's always some hurdle, some new shit that happens. Something's
gonna break. Something's gonna happen.
Right. You just got to be able to roll with it, and then after time.
Dude, I thought I've seen every residential window, and then I'll run into one I've never seen before. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's crazy the amount of different windows there are.
I'll tell you this. Even still, all these years doing this, I go and bid a construction clean. Which I tell myself the last time I do a construction clean, I'm never doing one of these again. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then I get a call for one. I'm like, well, I guess I'll go bid this. And I always bid it like, there's no way they're going to accept this bid. And then they call me every time. You know what I mean? It's like, even when I put it to a number, I'm like double what I would charge. You know, they call me. And this dude did it to me again.
Yeah, it's I don't want to do it price.
Oh, my God. And halfway through this job, I'm like, 20 years of doing this, halfway through this job, I'm like, I'm never doing this again. You know what I mean? And I know I'm going to get a call and I'm going to do it again. It was just one of those deals where...
Are you razoring the whole thing?
I'm going to tell you guys something. I scratched a window. Yep. The tin side was out and it was in direct sunlight and I did not notice it, and I went right across the top, and about halfway through the right across the top, I'm like, that don't feel good. And then I let go and I'm like, oh shit. It wasn't terrible, you know what I mean? But you could see there's like 3 lines. Yeah. You know what I mean? But
gives a character, man.
Oh man. I told a dude about it and he's like, well, it's above the door. They can't, he goes, and there's a vestibule that comes out and then it's above the door. Yeah. And you can't look up directly and see it. He's like, I see it. He goes, you see it. He goes, they'll never know. He goes, don't worry about it. Yeah. He's like, we made, and they did. They made some scratches of their own. He's like, I scratched a few pieces myself installing it. He goes, they retrofitted a 200-year-old building or 100 and some odd year old building with brand new fucking windows. It looked like it was a nightmare. Yeah. You know what I mean? But that was the only when, I scratched the window, but I bladed the shit out of it. Hell yeah. I mean, because, dude, it was riddled. It was riddled with fucking silicone and fucking caulk from the weather caulk between the frame and the brick. It was just a total fucking nightmare, dude. Total nightmare.
It's a real skill to look at a window. And that's a real trait, and I bet you half the window cleaners out there can't look at a window. They still look through a window. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah. No. It's hard to describe what you're saying, but it's definitely a deal where you're looking at it, not through it. You know what I mean? You will look at the window, and then once you feel like looking at the window, it looks good, then you'll stand back and look through it and like, all right, everything looks,
Right. But, I mean, if you have problems doing that, get polarized sunglasses, obviously, and that way you can sit there and actually look at the window.
I've been wanting to do a Just Scrape It shirt. And I don't know if someone has already beat me to it, but I wanted, and I think the way Jersey cranks out those fucking sticker sheets, I mean, if I speak it into existence, he's going to take it anyways, but
yeah,
I wanted to do the Nike
like
swoosh. I want to take the Nike swoosh. I want to take the Nike swoosh, and at the top of the swoosh put a scraper.
Oh, I'm thinking Michael Jackson.
You know what I mean? And then at the bottom, just scrape it. You know what I mean? That's what I want to do, but somebody will take that idea.
Do you see somebody came out with a scraper for the water-fed pole?
I just, dude, I don't
that
even.
That is waiting to happen. Beyond.
Hey, listen, I'm gonna tell you right now. I've scraped a plenty of window with a water-fed pole.
No. A scraper blade mounted to a brush.
That's madness. That's madness. That's madness.
Yeah.
It is a parent.
Yeah, it's called scratch it.
It's called scratch it.
No, but he does have that. I'm like looking at this going, this is not a good idea.
I'll get to work on that design then. I mean, you guys heard it here first, so if somebody comes out with it before me, you guys know I said it first. So,
right.
And I'm the one. I'm a huge proponent of scraping. Like I see all these dudes on TikTok, and I love the guys on TikTok. I'm not shitting on nobody, but there's a lot of dudes that do a lot of shit.
Everybody's on TikTok.
Everybody is a fucking expert. You know what I mean?
I should be live on TikTok trying to draw them here. How many people we got? 16?
Yeah. And, there's the whole gang that thinks that you have to steel wool every single window to get it clean. And I'm just like, like my favorite videos to watch are when dudes steel wool a window. They wet a window, steel wool it, and then they scrape it. It's just like, what?
Yeah, and then they wet it again.
Dude,
I had a city furniture I was
just
doing the other
scrape
day.
the fucking window, dude. Come on.
Dude, I had a city furniture. I didn't work today, the day before, right? It's Tuesday. And I did the outside. I touched up the inside. And then as I'm leaving, I got my ticket signed. As I'm leaving, I noticed tape right above the door push, And I'm like, So I reach in my silencer. I take out my strip washer. My squeegee.
That's a perfect fucking picture for that.
I literally tap it on the glass on top of the tape. Take my scraper, take it off. Take my towel, wipe it off. Done. And I'm like, these guys would take out steel wool and bronze wool and then white pad.
Yeah. I mean, I'll say this on accounts where like I do them regularly, like at least once a month. I hardly ever have to use a scraper. I will use an abrasive pad occasionally, like a walnut pad or something if there's a little bit of this or that stuck on the glass. But 9 times out of 10, I'm just busting out the fucking the scraper. What's that?
I use a squeegee lifestyle.
I know I see you do that a lot.
Dude, it is. I'm telling you,
he wets the window and scrubs the window with the towel and then squeeges it.
It's the perfect abrasive. Mm-hmm. It takes off that film.
It'll take off tape. It'll take off tape.
It takes off tape. It takes off spray paint. It takes off like spray paint residue. It's perfect.
I'll say this, and
in
regards,
$6 and they're reusable. You know what I mean?
In regards to the price of the towels, because I get that like the most, like people like you're so mad about how much the towels cost. Dude, I have listen, those 4 white towels that Mark gave me to test, the sample towels, I still use them.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
They're like 5 years old.
It's like 5 or 6 years old. Those fucking towels, man.
Yeah. I got 2 that TJ gave me that he had been using that are the original that don't even have squeegee life on them. Yeah. Like it's down here years ago.
Yeah.
And they're still on my
You show me a blue or green thick or thin Huck towel.
Oh dude,
that's 5 years old.
Show it to me.
We're just breaking in.
Yeah. Right. And that's that just goes to get to just further the point. Like I understand, like if you want to, like I like to keep things cheap. That's cool, but don't shit on something because you don't want to buy it. You don't. You know what I mean? Like
you like towels, so Mark will buy some different fucking colors, dude.
I don't know if it's ever gonna happen.
I've mentioned that before, and here I'll be honest with you, Tim. I buy them at $15,000 at a time. Okay, it's the only way to get a price point that works.
Right.
15,000 or better. If I change the color, and I've thought about it because there's been requests. If I change the color, I got to buy 15,000 of that particular color.
So you'll grab purple, like a purple, because you're gonna sell those to the Window Genie, right?
Yeah.
All put on the Window Genie.
Yeah.
Squeegee Life's in a neon green.
Yeah.
Purple.
But here's the thing, Tim, and I think you'll agree with this. I dabbled around in it. I said maybe I could talk him into giving me 7,500. I got a gray one that I love the color. Okay, and doesn't show a lot of dirt. I still use it because it's so different than anything else. But here's the point. Number one, my little catch thing is if you drop it, you're always going to find it if it's orange. A and B, it's kind of part of that brand that it's orange. You know what I'm saying? I mean, no one else has an orange. There might be a few microfibers out there. Yeah, the maker stuff, but.
Listen, the orange towel is a Maker Products missed opportunity, is what that was.
Yes.
Right. Well, I know Richie was working on that.
But that was a missed opportunity. There's some things that should have happened that didn't happen.
Right.
And the Squeegee Life towel just came out of the back end of that.
Change the orange. Keep the orange. I'm just saying add a color.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, well, see, here's the thing.
If you go red,
here's the thing. I'll be honest with you, Tim.
If everybody wants to pre-order 15,000 of a certain color towel, let Mark know.
If you understand how many cases of towels,
WCR is going to buy fucking half of them.
They do. They buy them all. They buy every bit of them.
Right.
Here's
so
the
what
point.
are you worried about?
Here's the point. I'm not worried at all. Here's the point, Tim. I have a 1.5 car garage, meaning it's only a 1 car garage, but you can open the doors.
Right.
When you walk in my garage, I got my Mustang sitting in there under the cover.
A big ass shop out in the back.
I'm not putting that shit in my shop.
Listen, I'd rather clog up my garage so my wife is pissed at me forever. He wants Kate to be perpetually pissed at him about the garage. You know what I mean?
Right.
Rather than inconvenience his shop in the or in one of his many storage containers.
Yeah, I got one 40-footer. I wish I had it
out there for. Al, it's time to change. I'm being sponsored today.
What does that say?
I like that. That's a good one.
Elect that motherfucker again. Is that what it says?
$75.
We're definitely getting fucking pulled off the internet for this one.
Right. We won't be back for another 7 days.
That's a Ted Nugent hat, man. It's signed by Ted Nugent.
Oh, really? Nice.
Sweet.
Yeah.
I went to Ted Nugent came to our town and said something off color.
Go figure.
Yeah, he said something disparaging about black people in this country, and it kind of set me back a little bit.
Yeah,
I was just like, wow, Ted.
Not here with us.
Wow, Ted. I mean, I see what he's saying. I mean, I could get what he was saying, but it's like, Ted, come on, bro. Everybody in the crowd was just like, oh shit, like, okay, Ted. Wow. So yeah.
There's a comedian, Owen Benjamin. He kind of went off the deep end. He used to be on Joe Rogan and shit, and he went off. Now he's doing nothing but like black and Jew jokes, and he's the whitest dude out there. Oof. Like he's just. I don't find shit. The funniest, those Saturday Night Live guys. Have you seen those two?
Those two. I mean, that's appropriate. I feel like humor. It's hilarious. You know what I mean? That's something that Richard Pryor and all them used to do back in the day, and there was nobody upset about it.
In the 70s, it was fine.
Yeah. Right. In the 80s, it was fine.
Yeah, early 80s.
In the 90s, it was fine. It's just recently. It's just the past 4 years has been really suspect.
Look at
when you say the word black. You know what I mean? It was racist to say black. You know what I mean?
You imagine Andrew Dice Clay nowadays?
Oh, it would no.
It's funny nowadays. Now
he still does stuff. He still does stuff on the on like Twitter and Instagram and shit like that. It's funny as fuck. YouTube. Oh yeah, there's no. Yeah, times are definitely strange. And we, with everything that's going on in the world, times are definitely strange. I'm actually surprised it's not as bad as we thought it was going to be. But I say that, and
it's going to be bad, dude. We're just.
When is it going to be bad though? It's just about over. You know what I mean? Like there's no way that there's no way that this administration can continue to be. There's no. I just don't see a way that happens where he wins it the nomination again. He's just too far gone.
They're gonna put Michelle in, man. You know what I mean? That's gonna be a last minute. They're gonna throw her in. Kamala's gonna get like this cushy job. They're gonna pay her off.
Michael?
Yeah, Michael.
I
don't know. I just don't see his approval rating is not very good. You know what I mean? I don't think he's gonna be able to run another 4 years. I don't see how
I don't see that
either.
I don't see that either, but I don't see
this is probably gonna get us banned.
I don't see him walking away. You see
not.
I see him getting very angry and losing his shit when they tell him to go.
Yeah, there's 19 people watching and we got 9 thumbs up. Come on, guys. You at least
I don't think it's going to be him making the decision. It's going to be, I mean, obviously there's somebody in the background. We all know who's in the background.
Yeah.
That's who makes the decisions. So, I mean, whoever it's going to be, there's going to be a October surprise. We know that's coming. Everything. We went through hell in 2020.
The October surprise, that was all bullshit. Like Reagan winning, like he might not have that might not have been legitimate.
Dude, Reagan won 48 states.
That second time around, though.
Yeah,
that was an 8-4. Yeah, but I mean, he wasn't even all there by then. You know what I mean,
dude? Jason, I see what you're saying there, but I just don't see how you trot that fucking guy out.
Nixon's not going to do.
I don't see how you, dude. I mean, dude, politically, whoever would run against him would slaughter him.
Yeah,
just because of the state of California, that dude would be. There's no way you could. It is bad. Like, it's so bad. There, people are fucking. They're charging people because they're leaving. You know what I mean? Like, you're gonna give us some money before you go.
You know how you rent those scooters and you just leave them wherever and they GPS track them. They have flat shovels on the sidewalks there for you to pick up shit, and then you just leave the shovel wherever you want. We are quickly becoming not the. The economy of the world. You get what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
We are quickly becoming, and if something doesn't change in this next election,
I don't care. Done. Yeah, I don't care who it is. I'm gonna say what all the lefties said. The lefties said the last 8 years was anybody but him. Anybody but Biden, I'm cool with. Like
I'm not even saying Trump at this point. I don't care.
Anybody but Biden. Like, it just can't be him anymore. The dude, he's clearly like his cognitive function is off. You know what I mean? Clearly. There's a lot of dudes that like that one guy, like that dude that keeps locking up. Like, who's that dude that keeps locking up? Like,
oh yeah, he's gonna go. Well, he's retiring.
Is he?
Finish. Yeah,
he
announced
needs to.
I think today. Yeah,
he needs to. Like, you're
locked.
Yeah, I mean, and you've done your. Even Joe Biden, he's done his country either a service or disservice. No matter what, he's been a public official his entire life. You know what I mean?
Do you understand what this world economy? I'm not going to go too conspiracy hole on you guys, but I'm going to go a little bit, okay? But like, so when you got to change because the economies are changing, you got to flip the switch. Countries have to be worker countries for the good economies. And that's why they become these communist states where they can control the workers and shit like that, start building the populations, all that bullshit. That's what happened in China, India, all that. We're going to be a worker state, dude. We're going to be fueling these economies in China and India. They had billions.
Chris McDonald, that is so right, man.
Yep.
Term limits would solve all of this shit.
Term limits.
Like congressmen and people like that, like people in the House, like you should not have a House seat for life.
Right.
You know that
or Senate seat for life. That's ridiculous.
AOC girl is a multi-millionaire now. and she was a bartender before she went. I mean, I guess she had a college
she has
education.
some big tits.
Who, AOC?
Yeah. She could like a woman.
Too horse-like.
She still got some big old boobies, though. That's why she got in there. She's got big
I just
boobs.
see her as feeding her an apple through a fence. You know,
she's listen. She's stupid.
She's not
she
smart.
Says some stupid things for the people out there. She's not smart, but she costs jobs. She's done, but I don't know, man.
She told Amazon not to come to New York, and they lost like $200,000 jobs.
Yeah, that's stupid. That was a
shit ton of jobs.
But they want these states they want these democratic states like that, dude. I don't know why.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why.
You know why? Because they want to control them. They want them on the government dole. That's why.
Yeah.
That's why. The middle class is getting annihilated, so you rely on the government. That's it.
Well, I mean,
this is where Tim's thoughts on this are flawed, in my opinion. Probably. He's like, this is going to be a worker community. No. Because none of these kids know how to work with their fucking hands.
No millennials.
They're completely living their lives
through
a phone screen. They're not experiencing life the way we experience life. They're experiencing life vicariously. So they're getting married older, and they're having kids older, and even if they do either, and they don't have any physical, real world experience at anything. Like a lot of these kids don't have my mom is watching this, and everyone's like, well, she's your mom. But my mom can attest to this. Like, I have a skill outside of cleaning windows. I could build homes, had I have the capital to buy the equipment to do so. I could do that for a living if I wanted to.
Right now is a good time to do that.
A big majority of people, the younger generation, they don't have that physical real world skill, something that they're good at and passionate about to make money with. There's not a lot of that, you know what I mean? And I think that's where we're more we are weak and pale and blue haired and glittery, and we are easily squashed under the fucking boot of communism, to be quite honest with you. If it wasn't for our generation and the generation before this one, we would be fucked right now. Yeah, you know what I mean? If there was a
3 generations.
Well, I think
3 of them.
If you notice, we're Gen X, so Gen X is not represented well in anywhere in government. We've never had a Gen X president.
No.
And the reason why is because we just don't give a fuck at this point. And that's why
it's getting to the point, though. It is getting to the point, though, Tim, where that generation before us, like the boomers, the baby boomers and shit, they're slowly phasing out their senior citizens and shit. And they're getting older and older and older. And eventually the country's going to be in our hands.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Whether people wanted to wrap their heads around that or not, that's, so I think big change is coming, but it might take us a little while to get there. I mean, because we were raised differently than most, like the generation before us and the generation after us. We were in, I would say, a la-la land as far as just the color barrier, for instance. There was none of this racial epithet, you know what I mean? This stupid fucking tension. We got along.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, racial tensions in this country are at an all-time high because of it's a plan. You understand?
Yes.
It's a divisional plan. It's not. Everybody has.
Because you don't go. You don't. Yeah, but you don't go out personally yourself, Mark. You don't go out into the world and run into people and get side-eyed or you know what I mean, because you're an old white guy, you know what I'm saying? No, that's only something that exists on the internet, you know what I mean? It doesn't exist in actual life itself, you know what I mean? You're not gonna see that. You know what I mean?
Right.
You're not gonna see that, and I think a lot of this division and shit is just social media. It's readily available. I'm confrontational as shit on the internet. You know what I mean? I've gotten better, but I left the window cleaning groups because I see
Well,
shit.
That's what you and I got together there in the beginning. Is confrontation. You know
I
what
just
I mean?
like, dude, like some of the shit people says, it's just like, dude, what are you like? Come on, man. Like, are you, you're like, you can't be that ignorant. You know what I mean? They are. They prove it all the time. And just, I don't know. We live in weird times, dude. Super weird times.
Like I didn't even know anything about the internet until I was 21. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like
I grew up without. Yeah, there was none of that. You know what I mean? I mean, it was like, I think I graduated. It was like 1998. I think it was like, we were getting the AOL discs in the mail. They might have been out a few years before that, but we didn't have a personal computer in our home. Like the hottest piece of technology in our house was a fucking Nintendo 64 or a PlayStation at the time. You know what I mean?
We're in our 30s for smartphones came out.
Yeah, I was in my 20s.
Mark was in his 40s.
Yeah, I was in my 20s.
Yeah.
You were in your 20s?
When I had my first, when I had my own when I started carrying a phone.
Well, I'm talking first, like smartphone.
Oh, like smartphone, I was definitely in my 30s.
Y'all had the flip phones or you know what I mean, just regular cell phones, but not the first smartphone. I think was 2012 or something.
TJ, you listen to the Joe Rogan podcast with Dr. Phil on it?
Yeah.
When was Apple?
That's a good episode.
When did Apple come out?
That was actually a crazy episode. Even the one before that was pretty wild too. Like the Kid Rock episode was kind of wild too.
Oh yeah.
That was kind of wild too. I mean,
did you see his house, dude?
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
That is awesome. Sorry. I ate a brownie before I came on.
Yeah, I don't
starting to kick in a little bit.
I don't think like, every kid is afraid of manual labor. I just think that most kids, especially like my daughter's age, Elena and Savannah, I don't know, it's not necessarily that they're afraid of work, it's just the thought of work, you know what I mean, for them. And I don't think that generation really realizes that you have to work in order to have anything.
They call off work.
You know what I mean? You can't the world is not the fantasy that the internet makes it out to be. Like, you actually have to go out and do it to get those things that you want and see. You know what I mean? You have to go out and do it. You know what I'm saying?
There's no customer service either. You get what I'm saying? They don't understand customer service. Listen, I serve this time of year. You guys know that, right?
Yeah.
And we just had a girl got in a bad car accident here in town. The driver actually died. She was a server for us. So we're doing these benefits. So I'm taking over some shifts to make sure, that shit's covered. But, dude, I bank, man. People aren't used to getting good customer service. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I'm serving breakfast, selling, $10, $11 checks and getting $10 tips just because of my attendance. You know what I mean? There is no customer service at all. These girls, they don't care.
Well, this generation does only what they need to do to get by. That's it.
They'll go to a table, do whatever, go in the back, get on their phone, get on their smartwatch, get on their phone, go back to the table, get on their phone. They're always on their phone, hiding. They're always like this. That's their lives. So that Ready Player One movie, you know what I mean? Have you seen that?
Yeah.
And then you got Metaverse and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Dude,
well, you know what? I'm going to tell you this. I bought my son the PlayStation VR headset for Christmas. Played that motherfucker solid for 2 fucking weeks. You know what I mean? And then he just stopped playing it. And then I'm like going there and I asked him. He's like, my buddies ain't got it. So it's like only 2 of my friends have it. So the other kids can't fucking come, the other dudes can't come and hang out with us, so he'd rather have the interaction with his friends than be in the virtual reality world. Are you all right, Mark?
Yeah, I need more ice in I came out of the chiropractor and putting ice on my back.
All right,
Scott, can you put ice in me?
Yeah.
Don't have to water. Yeah.
What's that?
Yeah. I got Scott getting me more ice.
No, I was talking to Tim. What did you say, Tim?
I said his old ass.
Yeah, old ass dude.
I just got done with 2 weeks of sciatica, man. I feel you.
I was having, dude. I'm gonna tell you this, man. I was having some serious foot problems. The year before, not last season, but the season before that. Holy shit!
But and is then it plantar fascia or whatever? Or
I don't,
what?
dude. I don't know. I just had a hunk of skin fall off my heel. About I would say almost the entire diameter of my heel. It just cracked and came off.
Holy shit!
Like I'm molting or something. Like
did you sew it back or what?
No, it was a callus. You know, I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm like legitimately. I never have fucking shoes on. When I'm not working, I ain't got shoes on. I'd rather be barefoot. And when it's warm out, I'd rather be barefoot. I'd rather feel my connection to the earth. You know what I mean? I want to feel the concrete. I want to feel the grass. You know what I mean? I just dig barefoot. That's just my thing. So.
Yeah, dude, mine was I was on a roof at the end of gutter season last year, and I pulled my Achilles tendon. And dude, even getting up now, it's still bothering me. Like I can't put pressure on my foot first thing in the morning. I got to give it time. It's just horrible, dude. Just age, you know.
Yeah, I got abide with exercises. Like I would point my toes, try to point my toes to my chin. You know what I mean? Like I would flex them, and then I would
feel better.
Yeah, and then I would take a can of fucking whatever, like a canned ravioli or soup or whatever, and just stick it on the floor and just roll your foot across it.
Yeah, it sounds like you had like a heel spurs or a fucking plantar fascia bullshit, dude.
I don't know. I had sciatica a couple years ago too. That was a motherfucker.
That's brutal, man. Yeah,
I get that all the time. It sucks. Balls.
Yeah, dog shit between the toes. That's why I'm always bitching about the dog shit, because I will step barefoot in dog shit all the time. Fucking pisses me off, dude. I step in dog shit so much that I want to put a hose bib out back just so I can get to the hose quicker.
What time is it? Good, I got time. I want to tell you the drama about getting a new dog. Have you guys seen?
Yeah, I see you guys got an award-winning dog.
Yeah, right. Yeah, Leah. But thanks, Scott. So my daughter cons us into getting her a dog for Christmas, and I thought it was going to be a toy dog, right? But no, she ends up settling on this chocolate lab. It's fine. We'll get this chocolate lab. We got it. First day, next day that we got it, I'm over with Nova, my pit bull, and I'm grabbing the food thing, and the puppy had come up, and she grabbed her. Like blood everywhere, blah, blah, blah. So we run down to the vet. We think she's dying, whatever. 9 weeks old at the time. Get her out of the vet, whatever. Get to New Year's Eve. She's sitting there having what we thought were seizures. And so it's 8:30 on New Year's Eve. We take her up to the med vet, and they come back out with her. I just parked the truck. Hannah's filling out paperwork. What?
Mark fucking snapping and crackling and fucking popping. Jesus Christ.
It's my colostomy bag.
Go ahead,
Hannah's
Tim.
filling out the paperwork, and they're bringing Oakley back to me, and she's handed to her. She's got this big smile on her face, and she goes, "Sir, one of two things is happening. She's either going to die really soon, or she has a really high marijuana intoxication right now." So she gotten into one of my balls and was chewing on it. And she got high.
Oh my god, dude!
Yeah,
I had Chucky.
This puppy is 60 pounds right now.
Chucky, when she was, dude, I want to say Chucky, she was probably fucking this big, like she'd fit in your hand. She fucking ate all the weed off of a tray and slept for like at least I'm saying like an eighth. Like I want to say maybe 4.5, 5 grams.
That's
of
hilarious.
Some high, like fucking high THC from the fucking from the dispensary up in Michigan. Like my mom was there. She was on you could roll her around. She wouldn't even open her eyes. You could roll her around, move her, hold her. Yeah, she was breathing. She was, she was fine, but she was knocked out. And now if you're out on the porch smoking or something, if you light something up, she will come to you. She will come to you and she'll sit down and put her nose up like this. She wants you to. Yeah. And she'll go.
Yeah, Nova. It's crazy, dude. Dogs are just. Now I got 3 big dogs. They're just
I have 3 big dogs. The worst thing about my 3 dogs is they all shed, and my house is perpetual. Like Jennifer literally could probably spend 2 hours every single day sweeping up here easily. Her whole life could be about sweeping up here.
What kind of dogs do you have?
Labradors.
Yeah,
Labradors. This is a chocolate lab.
Yep.
And then I've got 2 pit bulls.
You'll know.
So the
pit bulls don't shed like that Labrador is going to.
And she's got she's got some thick, crazy ass wavy coat, dude. I'm like,
Damien, definitely without me saying it and people shitting on me for it, but that's exactly what she's wanting for Damien. Is she wants in rotation. She wants, when she smells it, she will come and sit in the group of people there, and she's like, all right, I'm gonna hang out with you guys. Yeah, she's addicted, man.
Call that dog Spicoli.
Yeah. She's the worst dog I've ever had.
It is 43 degrees in here right now.
She's beautiful. Yeah. She's a beautiful dog, but she's the worst tempered fucking animal I've ever had in my life. Her temperament, dude. She just she's a goof. She is Spicoli. She's a fucking goof.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And she's a spaz. She spazzes. Like, people, you cannot come to my house. You cannot.
That's not.
If you come to my house unannounced, Chucky's not good. You're not gonna have a good time. You're not gonna have a good time. Don't come in my mom's like. My mom's like, where are you guys at? Like, we were gonna meet my mom here for something I can't remember, and Jennifer's like, well, just go in and wait for us. And I'm like, my mom cannot go in the house. Chucky, even my mom, I don't trust Chuck to not be mean to my mom. Like, just sit on the porch. And she's like, well, the dogs are fucking barking. And I'm like, well, they're gonna continue to bark until we get there. You know what I mean? It's either that or sit in the car. You know what I mean? Because you're not gonna be, if you go in the house, it's gonna be a bad scene. I made Mark and fucking Richie sit outside.
Eventually I got to pet Chucky and stuff.
Yeah, but
took a while.
It took a while. She's not a good dog. She's a bad girl.
Dude, I don't run into any bad dogs. I love dogs, so I don't run into any bad dogs.
She's good to us. She's good to us. We love her. You know what I mean? We love Chuck's, but she's our dog. She's not anybody else's dog.
You can't be a residential window cleaner and not.
Oh yeah, I always get that. That's always strange to me. Like, every time I pull up to a house, they're like, "Oh, I'm sorry about the dog. I'm sorry about the dog." I'm like, "Listen, lady, I'm cool. Not only do I have 3 dogs, but I work in a service business. You gotta be fine with dogs. Like, there's what do you want to do? My buddy Jeremy, we pull up to this job, and I get out of the truck. You know what I mean? I just get out of the truck, drop the tailgate. He starts to open the door and then slams it real quick. And I heard the truck door slam, but I'm walking around, get my shit on to get the ladder, because not the young guy, but I'm the low man on the totem pole, so I know I'm doing all the ladder work on this house. So I go to do all that, and Jeremy's sitting in the truck, and it didn't dawn on me that there's these 2 gigantic fucking dogs. One on either side of the truck. The one was right behind me. I wasn't even paying attention. I turned around and I seen it. It didn't startle me or anything. I hadn't, you know what I mean? I was just like, oh, it's a big dog. You know what I mean? Like, this dude is in the truck petrified, stuttering. Yeah. He says that that's where his stutter came from, is he got attacked by a dog when he was younger, and he's stuttered ever since.
Oh, no.
He's petrified of dogs. Dogs don't bother me.
But see, dogs pick up on that fear and then take advantage of it.
Now, I've had a dog nip me one time, and you know what I did? I fucking kicked that motherfucker. That's what I did. I kicked him right in the fucking chest.
It's always a Chihuahua.
No, this is a big dog. It was a big lab. He fucking bit me, bit my arm. You know what I mean? Like, clamped on me, just bam. Right. And I just fucking kicked this fucking ass, and he slid across the floor. And the owner was like, what happened? I was like, he just bit me. And I showed her, and I had blood on my arm. She's like, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm like, I'm sorry I had to boot your dog, but we're gonna learn one way or another not to be biting. And I was like, right. I have dogs. It's cool. She's like, well, if you wanna, I'm like, listen, I gonna press charges and we're not gonna get lawyers involved.
Yeah.
It's all good. If you just want to give me a Band-Aid, he just scratched me. He didn't puncture me. He just scratched me. It's not a big deal. So just don't be mean or upset with me because I kicked your fucking dog.
Tucker has the biggest issue with Amazon, UPS, and the mailman.
Yeah.
Those three. Dude, if we're driving down the road and an Amazon van goes the other way, I gotta close the window halfway. That motherfucker, right? So I got the same UPS guy for a couple years, and I once told him, I go, dude, he's just gonna run the gate, and I have a gate in front of the house. He's gonna run the gate. He's never gonna jump up and bite you. He's more afraid of you. He just wants to show you who's boss. And now the guy just laughs at him. He just stands there and laughs and Tucker starts, and then at Christmas time, I always try to tip my usual guys out, and I think I got him a $50 gift card to
Mark's fucking
grocery
big time,
store,
you know what I mean?
and I signed it from Tucker, and he could not stop laughing. I go, but like my mailman will open my gate and put a box on the front porch, and he's like, Tucker's just making all this running around him and showing. He doesn't show his teeth, but he's like, I could tell by his posture, he's just doing his job, but he's not going to attack me. You know what I mean?
Right.
But if you don't know or you show fear,
I think, our dogs fucking hate the mailman. You can't come to the front. You cannot pull. If you pull into the driveway, you're getting mugged.
Yeah.
You're getting mugged. Yeah, that's why 9 times out of 10, either we will allow you entry after the dogs have been put outside because they're they will mug. Either they will lick you to death or fucking try to get after you. I'm afraid Chucky's going to get out of the house and do something that's going to fucking cause me some heartache.
Remember your dogs disappeared for a couple days, right?
Yeah.
That was nuts.
Got them all back. Chucky was the last one.
Where'd they go?
They just took off. What was that? Just outward bound, that fucking story. They went to California and came back. I don't fucking know, dude.
They come back with stories.
Dude, Frank, the fat one, the brown one.
That had to suck, dude.
Tucker.
I'm not making light because I know
Tucker's dad, he was the first one to come back because it was too far away from the food. He came back.
He's hungry, yeah.
Yeah, he's like, wait a minute. The food's back there. I'm going
this
back
ain't
there.
working out.
I finally got rid of those bitches. I get all the food. So he came back. And then Hazel, I think someone brought Hazel back, or Jennifer had to go pick Hazel back up. One of the two. And then it was almost 2 weeks without Chuck. And then I was sitting in the room. I remember it for the rest of my life. I was sitting in my bedroom, laying on the bed. It was late August. It was hot. I was watching that Bohemian Rhapsody. And at the very end of the movie, something came over me. And I walked out. I got up, put my shoes on. I walked through the house, through the living room, and I looked. Jennifer's like, "Where are you going?" I was like, "I'm going to get Chuck." She's like, "Somebody call you?" I was like, "No, I'm just gonna go get her." I'm gonna go fucking find her. Something just came over me. I pulled out. I got in the truck, pulled out, got to the corner, made a right out of my neighborhood, and I see a dog sitting in a driveway across the street. And I kind of looked, and I was like, "Nah, there's no fucking way." So I stopped and fucking went through the plaza and come back around, and I pulled in the driveway, and I'm like, "Chucky, is that you?" And as soon as I said Chucky, her ears popped up, and she laid eyes on me. She literally jumped inside the F-1. I didn't have to open the door. She jumped through the fucking window into my lap. I pulled in the driveway. I swear to you, ask Jennifer, I swear, I'm not bullshitting. Maybe 2 minutes, I pulled back in the driveway with this fucking dog. She shit her pants. I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was my grandma, my grandpa, God, fucking Chucky.
No, it was meant to be.
Something just told me, get up and go get the dog. And I literally, she was across the fucking street, dude. It was nuts. I'll never forget. It gives me goosebumps talking about it. I don't know what it was. Something just inside of me, something in my head just go get the dog. I got up and fucking right there she was. It was fucking, I wish I'd had the camera going.
Yep.
I mean, listen, dude, my buddy Jason, my buddy Jason, Jennifer, me, I mean, we drove around for days looking for this dog. My buddy Jason would changed his whole routine. For 2 weeks, he would drive around, going everywhere he could to, Jennifer driving around looking for the dog. I was looking around for the dog. I don't know, dude. And
I
just
can't
something...
imagine. I know you guys would just. It's a loss. You know, it's like losing a child.
Terrible.
You know what
yeah,
I mean?
it's terrible.
Horrible.
They won't. You could leave the gate open now, and they won't go nowhere.
Yeah, they ain't going through that again.
Yeah, they know that clearly that was a traumatizing event for them.
Yep. Well, that's a good thing then. I'll tell you the funny thing about Tucker, because he acts like he's all badass, but he's afraid of the dark. If I don't walk outside with him, like he'll peer around the corner.
You wouldn't be afraid of the dark in Florida, bro.
Right? He will
like
not.
You go out in the woods and you get eaten. You know what I mean?
yeah, that's true. That's true.
It's like a nightmare. You
yeah. Like an alien planet down there.
Right. We're talking about anacondas now down there.
You know, I thought about that. I was like, man, I would love to live somewhere else when I get older. And then I was like, man, then I'll have to work. Now I'm going to have to learn new fucking spiders and snakes. I don't want to do all that.
I got to learn how to kill fucking alligators.
I want to go somewhere where there's not a lot of that. You know what I mean? I don't want to really fuck with a bunch of that.
So we vacation. We're going back to Hilton Head again this year for vacation. There are so many fucking. You couldn't live there. There's gators everywhere. You get what I'm saying? It's fun to vacation, but dude, there is just animals you don't see up here. Like I guess that's the blessing of the cold. You know what I mean?
If you grow up around them, it's a little bit different. You know?
Yeah.
But,
yeah. I am petrified of snakes. Like I'm talking.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of snakes either.
I'm talking the highest soprano scream you'll ever hear, and as fast as I can run, I'm gone. And that's a garter snake.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? I hate snakes, and that's all you have down there is snakes.
Yeah, we got.
I remember when I was a kid. There was a fucking snake on the side of the house out here. I think it's talking about that. I want to say that motherfucker had to be 16-foot fucking long snake.
Nope. Gone. See ya.
Anaconda.
I don't know if it wasn't an anaconda. It was just a big fucking giant fucking rat snake or something.
Rat snakes get huge around here.
Huge
you know what I mean?
ass fucking snake. And my grandfather fucking walked over with a fucking shovel and whooshink, and fucking done. He goes, I don't like snakes. I'm like, clearly. Yeah. You know what I mean? Now that I'm doing that, he clearly didn't like snakes.
When I was like 3 years old, I reached down to put my seatbelt on and I grabbed a snake. And that's been the biggest fear of my life since I was a child now. You know what I mean? So it was traumatizing to me as a kid, and that's why it ran into my kids.
I've never had a problem.
Snake, no run around chasing me with them. You know what I mean?
I never had a problem with anything until I started cleaning windows. About 3 years into cleaning windows, I had this giant fucking spider crawling on my fucking face. My buddy was like, Jeremy was in the truck. He's like, hey, man, you got a giant fucking spider crawling on your face. I'm like, whatever, dude. And I looked, and I fucking felt it. I was like, oh, shit. And ever since then, spiders geek me out now. I don't know why.
Yeah, I'm not a spider fan. I got bit by a brown recluse. That made me sick for like 2 weeks.
Again, they can kill you in Florida.
Yeah,
I got a buddy. I have a buddy here in town.
Yeah, they leave a scar.
I have a buddy here in town that I used to work with. Did maintenance on homes with, and he got bit by a brown recluse, and it fucked him up pretty bad, man. He's got a dent in his leg still to this day from that.
Oh, yeah, it eats a hole in you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got bit by one on a job, and it was a small one, and I didn't think much of it. I put some alcohol and cleaned it up, and then, like, 3 days later, I had this huge fever and everything, and then I went to the doctor, and he's like, I told him that, and he looked at the scar, and he's like, yeah, that was a brown recluse. He goes, but it wasn't a big one. You'd be having a lot more trouble. And then he's like, here's what's going to happen. You're going to get this fever. He goes, and you'll probably go back to work, which is a mistake because it's going to relapse. And he was 100% right. I went back to work and tried to work. As soon as you start breaking sweat, here comes the fever again. Yeah. And it was misery.
Yeah. My buddy Bob, he fucking struggled with that for about a month almost. It fucked him up. We had this dude that was a diabetic, this really skinny guy. He was a diabetic and fucking used to work maintenance with us, and just bringing that up. We used to find that dude knocked the fuck out all the time. He would go into a diabetic fucking shock, coma, whatever the fuck it is, and just fall out. Just fall out. I found him on the stairs one day, laying on top of his tool satchel, fucking just all lumped up. I'm like, this dude is fucking dead. Fucking just would pass out randomly. This dude used to drive and shit. I'm just like, bro, you gotta quit working, man. You're gonna end up fucking driving down the road one day and fucking just zonking out over something he could totally control. Like his blood sugar, like you got to pay attention to that, man. Monitor that shit. You should know better than that.
Right.
Ohio, a couple decade and a half ago, they had to be early 2000s. I don't know. They started introducing fucking rattlesnakes and coyotes back into Ohio. And
nothing good comes from those. Yeah.
Now we got like fucking wolf hybrid coyotes. They introduced too.
I had a coyote 2 years ago.
We got packs of them live right here.
I had this huge fucking party at the house. I think it was Elena's graduation party. And I fucking filled up the whole back of my Ranger with all the trash and shit from the fucking the party, you know what I mean? Tarped it off, strapped it down. And in the middle of the fucking night, I hear all this fucking rustling and shit. I'm like, what the fuck? I get up, walk out fucking front, and there's a coyote standing in the bed of my fucking Ranger, and there is fucking trash everywhere. Everywhere.
Shoot it?
No, I didn't walk outside with my fucking gun. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I wasn't thinking that, to be quite honest. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm fucked.
But now I'm like, I'm never walking outside again without a pistol in my hand because I might be able to shoot one of these motherfuckers. I wish I wanted to shoot him. Trust me, if I'd had a gun in my hand, he would have been dead right there. I'd have shot him.
Right.
I wouldn't have thought. I would have fucking shot him a couple of times.
Well, you know,
I was so pissed about the trash. Having to pick up the trash, I probably would have shot him. I probably would have emptied the magazine, to be quite honest. He'd have got all 12 rounds of that 45, every bit of it.
One of the guys that works for me, he now lives in upstate New York, and he's got a bunch of property that he hunts on up there. Mm-hmm. So he posted a picture of a dead coyote. He had feeder out right on a tree, and he noticed this deer would come every night at 6 o'clock or whatever to feed. And then in the background, he finally got a picture. It was a coyote. And then he realized the deer he could tell by the zooming in that it was pregnant, you know, so he wasn't going to shoot a doe. And so he waited, and he was able to kill the coyote. It was a big fucker, right? Mm-hmm. So, of course, he puts it, because he's a big hunter, he puts it online, and some lady's like, that's a beautiful animal. And he goes, you obviously have never seen what a coyote will follow a deer and wait for it to give birth and get that baby deer before it even touches the ground.
Right.
He goes, I just saved that mother deer and the baby by doing that. There's nothing
fucking, like, listen, man.
Yeah.
Listen.
Hey, fuck
deer are known, white-tailed deer are known to eat baby birds.
I believe it.
They will eat, if they find a nest, especially ground nesting birds, they will eat every fucking egg or every chick in that motherfucker.
Yep.
Look it up. Look it up.
Yeah, way too many deer right now. Way too many. You know, I don't know.
I was jumped and butt fucked in a Perkins parking lot 2 weeks ago.
Oh my God.
Yes.
But the important question is, did you enjoy it?
Yeah.
Was it an enjoyable occasion that you're now?
It'd be awesome to get that dude to sit down for a legitimate interview. You know what I mean?
Right.
You see if you can be that fucking crazy for 2 hours. You know what I mean?
Right. I think he's going to be crazy for 2 hours. If I'm a betting man.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Have you guys watched, it's just now new on Netflix, that American Conspiracy, the octopus murders. Have you guys seen that yet?
No, is that good?
Oh, it's I'd say season or episode 3, about 40 minutes in, this woman says something about the Zapruder film, you know what, the Kennedy fucking movie, that I never noticed it, but when they showed it twice and they slowed the movie, like, this dude's like, she's essentially what this woman is recalling a story where this gentleman showed her the actual film, and then the film that they've shown everyone, like, what you're seeing is not what you're supposed to be, like, what you should have saw. And if you look if you zoom in and look, like, there's a tree that's like the whole entire trunk's missing, and only this much, like, perfectly plumb cut, like there's something removed from the film. It's it's super strange. It does, I will say, it looks very strange. Something you never would notice.
Right.
But it's about like Reagan and like, I mean, that whole presidency was kind of weird. The Iran-Contra affair, all that shit that went down. Like, it's kind of about that. It's pretty fucking wild, man. It is super wild.
Put the pieces together from November 1963, right? Kennedy was killed by the CIA.
Yeah.
So you go from who was in charge of the CIA or was the main character in the CIA?
Bush
at that
Senior.
Time. Bush Senior. Who ran the CIA in the 70s?
I don't know.
Bush Senior.
Oh, yeah.
Who organized the crack epidemic to pay for the CIA?
Bush
Senior. Who went in with vice president and tried to assassinate Reagan in 81 to become president? Bush. Who also had the DARE program going on that was bullshit.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Then he became president, and then Clinton's a Bush family, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Fucking Obama's his fucking cousin. I don't know if you know that or not.
Yeah, that is very
strange. The Bush
strange
family has ran this fucking family. It was a coup, dude.
The whole presidential lineage, like fucking relative relation tree, is a very strange rabbit hole to go down. When you see that all these motherfuckers are related to each other, it is awful strange. It's awful strange.
In the Epstein stuff, where you know that they're being all.
I watched something.
They all got sex shit that they're all being controlled by.
I'm gonna tell you what right now. That shit there, that's a fucking rabbit hole there. They've almost made all of that fucking, which I don't want to go too far into because we could get banned for that. We could definitely dude. There's definitely some strange, fucking weirdo kitty shit going on in the upper echelons of this.
Yeah, that you got. The whole Wexner issue down here, we have
that might be correct, Matt. That could be correct.
His whole company, the limited brand, the Victoria's Secrets, and all that was help. Did I lose you?
No, you're still here.
No, you're here.
We can hear you, but
you
froze.
Frozen, but keep going.
Without watching the source of that video, I would guess the missing part was the couple frames they initially withheld of the bullet actually hitting his head, and you could see a chunk of the skull go flying. Yeah, but I'm gonna be honest with you, just to be fair about what that statement. Well, I do totally agree with you on that, Matt. But don't you find that is strange? I mean, he's getting shot. I mean, you still see his head kind of explode a little bit. You know what I mean? Even afterwards, like just missing those those significant frames in that does make me question. I personally, I will go to my grave believing that, number one, our country had something to do with that. There's no question that was allowed to happen. And two, there's no way that Lee Harvey Oswald, and there's no way that dude pulled that off. Sorry, just not possible. I'm not saying that he didn't take a shot, but I more tend to believe that he never even was even in that. I don't think he was ever in a position to even take a shot, to be quite honest with you. I think he was set up from jump. That's just my personal opinion on the matter. You know what I mean? I think
probably, yeah.
I think the CIA or fucking the FBI or somebody, there was a lot of motherfuckers that had nothing but contempt for that man. You know what I mean? He was gonna set the whole shindig on its ear. I mean, if you think about it, really.
You think there is more contempt for JFK or for Trump? Dude, the contempt for him.
I think there was more like actual contempt, like visceral, like
not
like actual, I mean, like more actual, like legitimate threat to Kennedy than there venom. As like the Trump shit is, I'm gonna be honest, I think 90 to 70 to 80% of that is Russian bot farm bullshit. There's no way that it's just by the numbers. It just doesn't make sense. And I'm not going to get into election fucking shit here because that'll definitely get us kicked off of here. We can't do that either. But the numbers, it just doesn't add up. You know what I mean? Like, there cannot be that many. There's not, just based on my interactions on social media and with people in general, you know, being in a service-based industry, and of course I'm on social media quite a bit with what we do here. I just don't, it just seems like the proportions aren't there. There's not that many fucking idiots out there. There's a lot of fucking idiots, don't get me wrong, but not as many as it would seem. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mark, are you okay, buddy? Are you going to be all right, sweetheart? Are you going to be able to make it another 30 minutes?
I'm just sore from the adjustment, you know, and he put this electric shock thing on. I've never experienced that.
Do you have your own TENS device?
No, what's that?
It's just a little thing that sends a little short electrical current through you.
That's what he put on my back.
You should have one of those. They're not expensive.
Me up.
Yeah, but it will help you out.
Does you have one?
I have one.
It's called a TENS device.
TENS unit.
Yeah, I might need to get that.
Feel the spasms, man, and you probably have back spasms tonight.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You have a muscle relaxer, you should take it tonight.
Yeah, getting old sucks. I got some CBD gummies from the neighbor. That'll take care of me. I take half of one of those.
You need some THC gummies and fucking live your life, motherfucker. Live your life. Mark, you don't even drink. Like, Mark goes through life completely sober.
Yeah, well, when I was a teenager, I did my share of drinking, and honestly, the feeling thereafter, and I've never liked
weeds for them fucking hippies, bro.
I just never liked the feeling of not being in control of myself. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, and I'm sure it's great, so I don't need any more bad habits.
I've drank a beer with you before. You didn't drink the whole beer. You didn't drink the whole beer
with you. I mean,
you didn't drink the whole beer.
I
think you maybe drank half of the beer.
You know what though? The awkward thing to me has always felt like I told you, I was surprised when.
And the only reason why I think you even got the beer is because Josh insisted that you got a beer. Yeah, I'm buying everybody a beer. Mark's like, I don't drink. You're getting a beer.
yeah, exactly. But I mean, I'll drink a beer with you, but like I always have this feeling that I don't. When I say I don't drink, then I got someone. I always think people are saying to those, he must have a drinking problem.
Yeah. I do. I have a drinking problem. I can't. I mean, I'm thinking about me and Jennifer go to the cabin around my birthday. I'm thinking I might have a couple of drinks down there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I just, I don't. I just don't do well on alcohol. I'm not a nice person. I don't make really good decisions. You know what I mean? I will fucking get in a car and think, you know what I mean? I shouldn't. But you can't tell me otherwise. Try to get my keys from me.
Right.
Try it. Try it out. Try it out, because I promise you, we are wrestling for those motherfuckers. We are, at the very least, minimum, wrestling for the keys.
Yep.
Yeah, at the very minimum.
Yeah.
And that's not good.
So I wanted to tell you, two weekends ago, I went to Texas. Mm-hmm. My brother lives in Dallas now, and he has 2 10-month-old twin boys. And I saw them, maybe 4 months ago. They came down to the Keys, and then he's like, now it's your turn to come to Texas. And he just moved into his new home and everything. So me and Kate and I went out there, and so he goes, the girls are going to some farmer's market on Sunday, and I got something special planned for us. And I'm like, okay. So we get in his truck, and we go to this place called, I think it was called Drive Exotic, okay? We come pulling in, and I see this road course, and all these race cars flying around. And he's like, you get to pick 3 cars, and you get 3 laps in each car. And I go, well, what kind of cars? He's like, you'll see. So you walk into this garage, and then there's 2 Porsche GT3s, a bunch of Lamborghinis, a couple Ferraris, a couple AMG Mercedes, and sitting over in the corner is a brand new GT500, 760 horsepower, right? So I keep on looking over at it, and so the instructor come out, you sit through a little class, they do ride with you, got headsets on, you watch a video, and it's only half the track is open to what we were doing. It's like 1.3 miles. So he goes to me, he goes, well, you guys get 3 cars, you get 3 laps in each car. My brother is he spends money like it's water. He goes, no. He goes, 3 laps ain't enough. He goes, can we upgrade this to like 6 laps for 3 cars? And the guy's like, sure. So he goes in, he does the paperwork, come out, and he goes to me, okay, which 3 cars do you want to drive in what order? And I go, okay. I want the Porsche GT3, something about it. I was like, that's cool. I mean, and I looked it up. It's 505 horsepower. And I'm like, I'll take the GT3 for 3 laps, but I want every other lap in that GT500 right there. And he's like, okay, whatever you want, dude. I gotta tell you. So I get in this GT3 and I'm getting, the first lap, you're just getting used to the track. There's hairpins, there's straightaways, and you could say all day long, I drive the wheels off that. When you get behind the wheel of a $250,000 Porsche, you're not gonna do yeah. So I get done with the Porsche. And then
you took 9 laps in that GT, didn't you? I knew you were going to say that.
Dude, so we get done, and they do a quick interview with you, and some of them make it on the internet or not. And if I didn't drop the F-bomb a couple times, I probably would have been, because the guy's like, that's a great description, but you dropped the F-bomb, maybe we'll edit it out. So he goes, so what did you think of the cars you drove? What did you drive? I go, I drove the GT3. I said, the best way I can describe it is, it's like going to the symphony. You don't really like the music, but you see the art and the talent. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I go, very refined, the power comes on. And he goes, and then what did you drive? I go, I drove that GT500 out there, and all I can say is that fucking thing was rowdy. Dude, it is, I swear to God, if I had the money to buy one of those, what an all-out. I mean,
it would sit in the fucking garage, just like your your fucking Mustang.
I would just wipe
you got that super sweet. You got that super sweet ass Mustang sitting in your garage. You never drive.
Well, I'll tell you, my Mustang is fine to drive, but it's nothing like that. That thing.
I'm sure. Yeah.
It's untamed. It is, but the brakes on that GT500 were far better. And then they took me. Then my brother paid for me to go for a ride with a professional driver, and he's like, let me guess, you want to ride in the GT500? I go, no, let's pick something else. And he goes, I got this all-wheel drive Lambo out here. I don't know what model it was. I don't know Lamborghinis. It didn't have the doors that go up on the roof, but it was a new model, and that fucking thing was out of control. All-wheel drive. That bitch was like on rails,
Right.
It was a blast. I highly recommend, if you're ever out in Texas, go to Drive Exotic and spend a couple.
That sounds fucking amazing, actually.
Yeah, it was.
So if you wanted to, you could have took all of your laps in the one car.
In the GT500, yeah. But
did you get the hang of it by the end of the 9 laps?
Well, look, the car is very refined. They won't turn the traction control off, and like you get out of the hairpin, and he's like, all right, you got a straightaway, go ahead and lay into it. And you lay into that car, it pins you so hard that you feel the G-forces.
Right.
And it's just like
my favorite fucking movie, Ford versus Ferrari, when he gets Henry Ford Jr. in the fuck and makes him cry and shit his pants.
That's another thing that I said. He goes, so what did you think of the experience? I go, this was a major rush. I go, and they're like, any complaints? I go, yeah, no GT5, no Ford GTs. And he's like, yeah, we can't put that out here. It's just too expensive of a car, I would, if there was a Ford GT there, even a 06, I would have drove that all the time, the whole time.
Right.
I mean, cars that made my butt pucker were a 1977 Corvette and a 2004 Mustang Cobra.
Yeah. Now my brother drove a brand new Vet, the rear engine one, and it's a nice. I'm not a GM
mid-engine.
Guy, but that is
mid-engine.
Mid-engine Corvette, and it was funny as hell because my brother goes. We're typical tanners, just like most guys. It's a competition, right? So all of a sudden, I'm coming up on this white car pretty quick, and he's like, "You got." Now the only way you could pass is they clear it with both instructors. It's like, all right, you're going to pass on the left. He's going to bear to the right, and then I realized it was my brother. So we get back to get our videos and T-shirts and whatnot, and my brother the whole time. what was my best lap time? What was my best lap time? The girl kind of looks up and looks back down, looks at me, looks back down, and she ignores him, right? And I go, you know what she's telling you, right? You fucking lost, right? You know that, right? And she's like, your brother's right. Your brother's right. I go, dude, I passed you. You didn't see me go by you at like 130 miles an hour? And he's like, that wasn't you. And I was like, the only orange Ford GT500 out there.
I would love to have one of those fucking Coyote motors and a late model F100. I would love to have that. One of these days I will.
Well, my JT gets out of welding school mid-April, and he's already spending money on a job that he doesn't have yet. But he's like, Dad, and I'm like, yeah. And he's like, I want to take my Fox body and put a Coyote motor in it. And I go, well, we can do that. I go, but you're gonna have to have deep pockets because you're gonna spend $20,000 to put that motor in the car with nothing else. The motor and the
I mean, you couldn't. I mean, even if you come across one of those salvaged, you're paying out of your ass for it.
Yeah. Well, I bought one for the truck that he's driving now, and that cost me $5,000 for a 60,000 mile. And that's a truck motor, not a Mustang engine. It's a lower horsepower.
I mean, you can, but you can make it what you want it.
So bad.
Yeah.
What's that, Tim?
I miss my Ford so bad.
Yeah.
At least I knew how to work on it. And this truck, dude, it's GMC. There's always something wrong with it.
My F-150 is now starting to rot on me. I'm so fucked. Yeah, I've got holes. Fucking I shut the door the other day and my rocker fell off in the driveway. Not the whole thing. I'm not saying that, but just chunks of rust hit the ground. I'm like, fuck.
It's so expensive.
Dude, I would have a new truck right now if it wasn't for how much they want for fucking used trucks.
It's crazy, right?
It's absolutely fucking ridiculous. Yeah. I'm just like, you know what? If I'm gonna rock the I'll rock the F-150, but if it gets to a point where it's just like it start to look like it's embarrassing to drive, my Ranger is rust free. It just needs some work.
It just hasn't been sitting. Yeah, well, my buddy who's a window cleaner, I'll
just start driving it.
He always drove Dodges, and then
until the fucking prices come down, I refuse to pay what these guys are asking.
They're never gonna come down.
They have to. They're gonna have to because the amount of vehicles like 23s that are still sitting on lots everywhere. There's no way the prices aren't gonna come down. There's no way.
My buddy,
I need to get rid of this truck within I want to get rid of it within the next 20,000. You know what I mean? I can't. The price comes out.
Yeah, my buddy, he always had Dodges, and he was leasing them. So every 3 years, he'd show up with a brand new truck, and then he finally said, "I want to own one." So he bought a Chevy Silverado, and he had a lot of issues with it, and he kept it for like 2 years, and then he called me and he's like, "What do you think of the F-150?" And I go, "Well, you're asking me. I'm biased. What do you want?" I go, "I've had good luck." I go, "But go drive one." And then he called me and he's like, "Dude, that thing drives like a dream compared to my other truck." And I go, "Well, they're pretty good trucks." Well, he ordered XLT F-150, pretty loaded up, not a Limited or a Lariat or anything, 2-wheel drive with a V8, and it was $65,000. His payment is almost $1,100 a month, and I'm like, dude, no truck is worth that to me. It's just not.
No.
It's not. It's not worth that.
I'm going to tell you, the last 2 years of not paying a truck payment has been very nice. It's nice. Been very nice. I've actually started tinkering around with maybe I just fucking go out and buy a fucking some fucking cab corners and fucking rockers and just fucking
that's easy shit. But
a new door and fucking find me a bed somewhere and fucking I'll just wrap the bitch. I don't even need to paint it. Just get the body work fucking done and just wrap the motherfucker.
I have 7 more payments on my 250. The problem is
every spring I just spray paint quarters because they but I'm spending as much as I was spending with that Ford every year right now with this truck. Yeah. Now I have no air, so I get the air dealt with. I've got there's just so many issues.
I always got air in my truck. I just roll the windows down because I'm not a pussy.
You don't live in Florida, though, dude.
You don't live in Florida, though, dude.
You gotta have air here.
You gotta have air here, dude. You have to, man.
Yeah. There ain't nothing like getting in that truck. It's 110 degrees.
Yeah, you know. And I know it's everywhere's worse than here, dude. Everywhere's worse than where I'm at.
No, I think Ohio's cool. I like what I've seen of it. Not much, but I've seen it.
I like Ohio, man. It's just,
I don't know. I'm gonna fucking
it's getting too crowded.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Ohio's getting a little full.
Yeah.
It wasn't always like this. Yeah, a lot of people in Ohio right now.
A lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
I see old Sniffy finally came down to where the train derailment was.
Oh yeah, wanted to give it a couple years, fucking simmer down. He don't want to fucking
After a year, and I heard he told the people, "We're going to continue doing what we're doing." This lady's like, "You ain't done nothing for it."
So we're just being honest. Yeah. We're just being honest with you. I'm going to continue to do nothing. More of the same. Biden 2024, baby.
There's not many Democrats left in Ohio. It's all inner city Democrats.
Yeah.
You know, it's just there's not. You know, we have a corrupt rhino. It's a conservative state, but they're rhinos and they're all corrupt as fuck.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
So
I don't like the DeWine and all that. I don't really, you know. I don't know.
He wanted to allow the boys and the girls to intermingle in sports and all. So I mean, he's conservative governor. If you know, he's a crook.
He's a crook. Yeah. That First Energy shit might come back to get him. I don't know, dude. that fucking First Energy fucking situation might come back to bite him in the ass. But I guess we'll see.
As long as he's governor, it won't though.
Oh, true.
Yeah.
But once he's not.
Have you seen the new state trooper cars?
No, I've not seen those yet.
Oh, these motherfuckers, dude. They don't even cop cars. They're fucking Durangos, one. Two, they're a whole different color than they were. They used to be silver, now they're like dark gray. And you can't tell their cop cars rolling up on them.
Oh, really?
Fucked, man. We are fucked. It's going to take us years to get used to this.
You're right.
I just follow the rules, man. You know, I just obey the traffic laws, dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but you run into a construction zone, you don't see the one sign they have, and you go to.
That's true. I mean, this is orange barrel country.
Holy shit!
TJ and Tim, Jason asking, what's your opinion of JD Vance?
He's okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
they do a lot of talking before they get elected. You know what I mean? And then after they're elected, that's kind of it. You know what I mean? They're
that representative, the blonde hair guy that used to be the wrestling coach at Ohio State. He's all He doesn't talk. They don't do anything.
Yeah. It's all a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah, they're all federal anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Once they're in the corrupt money hole, they're all fucking. You know what I mean?
Fuck, man. They don't do anything. We're all suffering.
It's all bullshit. I fucking am so glad that I stepped away from all of that. Like I was heavily invested in the whole political thing, and it's a waste of energy because. I'm not saying you shouldn't vote. You should exercise your right to vote because there was people that fought for that, for you to be able to do that, and there's people that went, like black people and women that went without the ability to do that. You know what I mean? To have a voice. So you should always exercise your right to vote. Be registered, whether it's Republican or Democrat. It's very important to vote.
At least that's really
important. Just like nothing ever fucking changes. You know what I mean? Like, honestly, the last time that I actually noticed a difference was when Orange Man Bad was in there. You know what I mean? I got to be honest. I'll be honest. Like, in my whole working life, I never noticed a difference until he was in there. I'm just totally blatantly obvious that you can definitely see a difference.
Well, TJ, think about your working life, though. You're going through, 9/11. You saying? So that wasn't a true conservative. I'm not doing this conservative Democrat thing, I'm just kind of giving an example of it.
Yeah.
You didn't really get a conservative president because of that economy and shit like that. We get into Democrat with Obama. There was 8 years of that, so the fucking economy was just shit. Trump comes in, easy fix. Let me do this, and everything's just skyrocketing. I mean, hell, the friggin' stock market went up 20,000.
Yeah, and then now, and by comparison, just go to the grocery store and buy groceries for your family.
Right.
Just go to the grocery store. Like, you can't, like, no matter who you are party to or who you voted for, it doesn't really matter to me. I don't care, but just go to the grocery store and tell me that you don't see a very scary change. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
it's true.
What? Like, I could spend $100 in any grocery store and only have the top part of the little basket full.
Right.
You know what I mean? Easily.
Right.
Just to go to get fast food for my family's 50, 60 bucks.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's ridiculous.
I don't
You
even
see
want
Wendy's trying to do this surge prices?
Yeah, it's not going to work.
I'll never go to fucking Wendy's ever again. Fuck
They're
you.
not. They've already backtracked on that.
Have
What are
they?
they trying to do?
They've already backtracked on it. Well, I know, like, the people here in our town, they were like, our Wendy's is like, yeah, we're not doing that. You know what I mean? Like, just so everybody knows, we're not doing that. You know what I mean? Like, somebody, like, they're
Jacked your prices up, and now you're going to do surge pricing?
So what they're going to do is, like, during peak hours, Mark, like, you know,
Yeah.
lunchtime and shit, they're just going to charge you, like, $1 extra for everything, you know, essentially.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
It just seems strange. I feel like McDonald's hacked Wendy's account and was just like, we're charging.
Yeah.
Because it makes no fucking sense, dude.
I don't know. I think Burger Kings are in trouble. We got them closing down here.
Oh, dude, Burger King is fucking terrible.
They're done.
The reason this is where Burger King went wrong. When you change the French fries, you got them big Lincoln Log fries, tastes like fucking dog shit. And then you start when there was the fucking like the Whopper taco and shit like that. What are you doing? Just like we just want fucking hamburgers. It's Burger King.
Right.
Burger King chicken sandwich. That's all you need. Now everything is like, you know, they want to put jalapenos on everything. Just give me a fucking cheeseburger, man.
Rancho barbecue with some
Rancho
sauce
barbecue,
on it. Yeah.
fucking purple bun bullshit. Just give me a fucking Whopper.
Just
Impossible Whopper.
If they would have just stuck to making just Whoppers, Whopper Juniors, chicken sandwiches that look like fucking submarines, they would be fucking fine right now.
Yeah.
Everybody goes to Burger King because they want the way the Whopper, the frame grilled Whopper with cheese tastes good, and they want fucking onion rings.
Right.
That's what you guys do well. Whoppers and onion rings. Why did you? How can you fuck that up? You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna introduce the Whopper taco. The flaming hot Cheeto bun. Like, get the fuck out of here. Right. I went in there one time and they legitimately had tacos, like hard shell tacos. And I keep bringing up the Whopper taco. I was just like, what? I just drove out of the drive-thru. I just drove out. I was like, now you guys are making tacos. If I want tacos, I go to Taco Bell.
Right.
Taco Bell, dude. Our Taco Bells are the worst Taco Bells in the world because
it's not just here. They're fucking bad everywhere.
Yeah.
They're bad. Taco Bell is just bad, dude.
You can't get in and out, and it's like the only game in town for tacos. You get what I'm saying?
I'm going to tell you this right now. The one here, the two here in our town, on the sign, since all of the things happened with everybody getting sick, I'm not going to say, but since that happened, the sign says they pay cash at the end. When they close, they pay cash by the day.
Wow.
Bally's does that shit too.
The manager, I pulled in there one day, and she's like, this line. There was her and another guy in there. It was like 7:30-ish. It was summertime, so it was, dusk. So it was like 7:30, 8 o'clock at night. I pull in there, and I, get some tacos and some every now and then, a brother wants a couple tacos, a Nacho Bel Grande, you know what I mean? You want some, some grindage. Just some shit you're going to shit out in 20 minutes. No big deal. You know what I mean?
Heartburn.
Yeah. And she's like, we've been here. She's like, I've been here since 6 o'clock this morning. It's just the two of us. Wow.
You really dedicated to her job.
Yeah. I was like, well, kudos to you, man.
Still running.
And she told me, she's like, you're the first person to come through the drive-thru that wasn't a total fucking asshole today. I was like, hey, I just want some tacos, man. it probably helped that I was probably fucking tuned up. You know what I mean? I probably smoked the left hand on my way there. You know what I mean? So
I eat Chipotle like 4 nights a week.
Elena loves that shit. You know what? I started like making Chipotle bowls at home, and that kind of stopped. You know what I mean? Now nobody wants Chipotle anymore. I've done Chipotle them out. You know what I mean? I'm like, we don't need it. I'll just make rice and fucking carne asada here, and you can fucking do the damn thing. You know what I mean? Now nobody wants it now. Now I think everybody's thing is, now Elena's Chick-fil-A all the time. She likes Chick-fil-A. Uriah likes Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, that's good shit too.
Yeah,
I don't know about where you are, but Chick-fil-A never doesn't have a line except on Sundays here.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That place is packed all the time.
The only thing I don't like about Chick-fil-A is them waffle fries need to be fucking hard. Yeah. Like, I want them motherfuckers to be crispy. I don't like that fucking in-between crispy and soft shit that they serve. I want French fries to be crisp.
Yeah.
Like, the best fast food fries, hand down, there's no better fast food fries than McDonald's. A hot order of McDonald's fries, you cannot top that. Nobody can touch them.
Yeah.
It's got a Bojangles. And
I've never been to one.
They're only doing chicken fingers. They're not doing bone-in chicken. But we got all these Raising Canes around. You get what nobody's taking.
We just got Raising Canes. They're new here. We just got 2
I
of
was
them
not impressed.
Yeah.
Crush it here, dude.
The Raising Canes, like, I don't like the food is fucking terrible.
It's horrible. I don't eat it, but
it's fucking awful.
The kids absolutely love it.
Really?
They do like $3.5 million a store and shit. It's crazy.
I think it's terrible. You know what I want? Fucking Ponderosa. Like, give me Ponderosa back. All I want is a Ponderosa buffet. Can you give me the Ponderosa buffet yet? All I want is a country fried steak with French fries and a salad and a pile of chicken wings and macaroni and cheese from Ponderosa. That's all I want. That's all I want.
Gotta get the chicken wings. God.
Them chicken wings, chicken wings from Ponderosa was fucking fire, dog. Me and my boys used to go in there in high school and fuck like 6 or 7 tubs of those fucking. They would get pissed and be like, yo, we'd have piles of chicken wings in that motherfucker, boy. Woo!
They have, I think they still have one down in Circleville. You'll have to check when you guys go down south. Maybe you can swing over there and hit it.
Listen, are you telling me there's a legitimate Ponderosa still in Ohio?
Might be. They might have shut down during that thing you're not allowed to talk about.
Oh, well, if they're still open, and that's where I'm going for my birthday, faux shizzle. I will drive, listen, I will drive an hour to 2 hours out of my way just to go to Ponderosa. I'm not bullshitting you. I miss that place. Those are the most comforting memories of my life, because that's where my mama and papa, when we was going out to eat, we was going to Ponderosa, baby. We was going in there, you know, Grandpa was getting the steak tips. You know what I mean? We was living it up, cuz, you know what I mean? Shit, that was high society. That was, huh?
Do you have a Bonanza up there?
No.
No Bonanza? It's the same thing as Ponderosa. It was just called Bonanza.
It's like everybody's like, hey, man, you like White Castles? No, man, I like Crystals. Does anybody know what Crystals is?
We got a Crystal here. We don't. I
think Crystals fucks White Castles all the way up.
Ew, fuck that. White Castle's the shit, dude.
No, Crystals fucks White Castle up, my boy. Have you ever been to Crystals before?
Never been to a Crystal, so
then don't talk to me about it.
Have you been to a cookout?
No.
I went to one of those in South Carolina. That was all right. It's kind of like Burger King, but not. I don't know.
Well, I got to tell you, man, if you ain't had a Crystals, it's just like White Castle, but the right way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They brought those old birds back. Fucking Cracker Barrel's the shit.
I don't like Cracker Barrel.
I love Cracker Barrel.
Cracker Barrel only tastes good if you're south of the Mason-Dixon line. Then it's good. If you get Cracker Barrel in Ohio, it's like fucking, it's weak sauce. Like nobody. I'm just saying, dude. It's the truth. Like all the food, like all the food, like even like when we eat McDonald's and shit, like me and Jennifer go down Southern Ohio, McDonald's tastes better down there than it does where I live. Like the people that work in the restaurants around here ain't where the fuck.
Not only Burger King, but I'm going to tell you the other brand that'll probably go out soon will be Bob Evans.
Yeah.
There's not many of those here.
Yeah,
I like Bob Evans' breakfast. Bob Evans' breakfast ain't bad, but I like to go to the mom and pop place, the hole in the walls for breakfast, like that one I took you to. Remember that the Depot? That's my favorite place to go.
Those
I love the
places.
Depot.
Yeah,
the Depot is the shit. I love that. It's ran by they're an immigrant family that actually they're from Mexico. They bought out the Greek people that owned it for years, for decades. They come over here legally, the right way, and fucking worked at the restaurant and ended up buying it off of them. And
that's the American.
That food is good. I miss those Sunday mornings with Jennifer. She's got to work all the time now, but usually Sunday morning, Saturday morning, or Sunday morning, me and Jennifer go there. I play with her boobies on the way there and on the way home. It was fun. Well, dudes, Tim, thanks for coming on the show. I hope everybody enjoyed it. Hopefully we can get Tim to come on and hang out with us some more occasionally. We'll see what happens, but it would be nice to have. It was nice chatting with you, Tim. Definitely have to get you to come back on sometime whenever you're free. I tried to bring you guys fucking the Joshua Shofster, but it just didn't work out, man. I tried to get him, but he's just too busy tonight. So, hey, any suggestions on cleaning leaf guard gutters with moss chunks in them? Yeah, don't.
I'll bleach them bastards out.
Yeah.
Yeah, just get rid of them.
Yeah. Leaf guards are shit. Unless you spend an arm and a leg for that shit that screws inside the gutter with the screen on it and everything, that completely closes the gutters off, they're not worth having any kind of gutter guard at all. I got people like, hey, will you put... I'm like, nope, I'm not putting... I bought some, nope, I ain't putting it on there.
I'm not guaranteeing it. I'm not doing it.
Yeah, I got people that call me that clean gutters with gutter guards on them. I'm like, nah, I'm good. I need somebody to come out, pull my gutter guards on, clean out my gutters. I'm like, that, like,
yeah, guard. We only take apart right above the hole.
Yeah, me too. Yep, that's what I tell them straight up. I'll be honest with you. If you want me to, I'll charge you this much money, $250 if it's 2 stories. And if I'm just going to 4 downspouts, that's all I'm doing.
I'm getting out of that gutter game.
I told them straight up. I tell them straight up. I'm only pulling the part off near the spout. That first section, I'm going to pull that off. Whatever's there, I'll clean out, flush the downspout. That's all you're getting.
Do they work and keep shit out?
No, they don't no, they're junk. Yeah. Like I said, unless you buy the ones that are custom fit, they make essentially they make the top part of the gutter has got like a screen, a mesh screen over it, and holes, and then slots. And that, so the leaf litter just sits on top, and then you could blow it off, and then the water still drains, you know what I mean? Essentially, no debris gets in there. But that other shit that they sell, all of it's garbage. There's not one bit of it that ain't shit. The worst clogs I ever see are with gutter guards on them. Every fucking one of them. Yeah. You got to get gutter helmet, not gutter guard. You put leaf guard in, it's going to jam it up quicker than shit.
Yeah.
Quicker than shit. Not only that, people don't realize the amount of roof granule that they lose.
Right.
And that shit packs up. That's really the thing I see the most is the roof granule. I mean, like it gets piled, dams up, and then water kind of rises, and then leaves stick to it, and then it just gets worse and worse and worse and worse and worse and worse, and it just turns into rips the fucking gutter off the house. Yeah.
Yeah.
The best thing to do is not have gutters at all if you can get away with it.
Right.
But that's, I mean, yeah. Any of that, I've not run across one product yet that's not fucking, total ass, except for that shit.
Yeah.
Except for that. I've got a guy that hit me up, he's like, it's been about, I don't know, he's like, I got this stuff when it first came out. He goes, it was so many years ago. He goes, I don't even know how long ago it was. He goes, but I just like, I've not done anything with my gutters in so long. Would you mind coming out and pulling the ends off for me and seeing what's going on in there? And I'm like, yeah, sure. I'll open them bitches up. It's just a little bit of roof granule. He said it's been on there for fucking 10, 15 years.
Yeah, then it's working right.
Yeah, and he lives in the neighborhood that he lives in abuts up against a state park. So it's parkland, so it's fucking woods, oak trees, and fucking acorns, and, you know, the whole spiel. Pine needle, he's got no issues. No issues.
Nice.
Yeah, fuck. I just bleach them hoes, Jason. That's what I do. But we went 2 minutes over, man, so you guys got one hell of a podcast out of us. Thanks, Tim, for hanging out with us, man. We miss you for sure, so... we'll definitely have to get you to come back on and hang out with us.
Absolutely.
Yeah, some other time when you're not busy. But follow Tim on TikTok, man. Outlaw Window Cleaner on TikTok. That's all he really does now. But we'll see you guys. We'll see you guys next week.
Peace.
I don't know with who. No, wait. Next week's March Madness. The High Rise guys are coming on.
But I got 4 people. I just got to put them in an order, and we'll be good to go. I'll keep you updated on that.
All right, cool. All right, guys. Yeah. See you.
Peace.
See you.
Wieners. I keep forgetting about the March Madness fucking shit. I keep forgetting.
Yeah, I got Draper, and I...
Is this thing on?